We live in a world that is constantly changing and evolving. And to face global challenges, we need people with dynamic personalities. At Sri Sri University, Odisha, the next generation of decision makers and leaders are groomed with the purpose to learn, lead, and serve. It is emerging as a center of premium education in India, blending the best of East and West. This university has a unique approach to education that combines Western innovation with the ancient values and wisdom from the East. It is one of India's first alcohol, drug and smoke-free campus. Spread across 187 acres of land and located on a hilltop on the banks of the Mahanadi River, the sprawling and beautiful campus is inspired by the ancient universities of Nalanda and Takshashila. Thousands of students from across the 28 states of India and several countries of the world call Sri Sri University their home.
If I had to point out that one thing that really makes me feel special about studying in SSU, it would be that synergy between the students, and that I think is the most special thing.
I'm sure that these students will make decisions in the near future that will change the world for the better.
I'm really happy to be here, and with every day I understand more how I appreciate this time.
Sri Sri University offers courses from an undergrad to a master's level and also PhDs. Sri Sri University is one of the first university in all of Asia to introduce osteopathy, a drug-free, non-invasive manual therapy that aims to bring a revolution in the path of medical science. Yoga, meditation and spiritual values are the foundations on which the university stands tall, and it is these that are shaping the personalities of our students inside out.
You know, there is no ragging happening, there is no one picking on each other, and that is really important, I feel. The environment of the university is such that the emotional quotient automatically develops in a person.
This is my 4th year in SSU, and I have seen a transformation on a very large scale in my life.
It gives you more than it promises, so that's all a person can ask for.
Sports is a way of life at Sri Sri University and is clearly exhibited in this vibrant campus and its students. The annual Fest Orion is a pursuit for brilliance. It is envisioned to be the biggest social celebration in Odisha and Eastern India, with the ambition of becoming the best annual fest in the world. Our alumni have been placed in some of the top multinationals, while some have set forth to create successful startups of their own.
Sri Sri University was one place I looked at where I feel I could learn more than just what's in the books, because at the end of the day I realized it's a lot about handling people more than systems. It's about actually coming together and making a difference, and you don't find that so easily.
In 2018, Sri Sri University was awarded the Best Bootcamp Startup Award by the Government of Odisha. Right from its year of inception, Sri Sri University has been recognized with several other such awards. Our vision is to impart holistic and value-integrated education in order to develop visionary thinkers and leaders. The revolution in education has begun.
The role of women in society is the only thing that determines whether a society is strong and harmonious or otherwise. Words of wisdom from Sri Sri Ravi Shankar ji. It is said that the decline of society started when women were kept away from education. The values and knowledge traditionally passed on from mother to child suffered, and so did society. Whether at home, in school, or venerated as the goddess of knowledge, women have played a key role in education. Let's find out how the determination and foresight of one woman has been a guiding light for an institution that redefines higher education. Namaste and Assalamu alaikum, everybody. My name is Hasan Tafti, and I welcome you to another episode of KARNIKA, Unfolding Womanhood. Today, we are talking about women in education. My guest for today is the dynamic Rajita Kulkarni ji. She is a certified faculty of the Art of Living courses, the Art of Meditation, the Art of Silence programs. She loves to read, write, sing, meditate, and treasures the simple joys of life. She is also the president of the Shri Shri University. A few awards and accolades that she has received recently are: in March 2018, she was selected as one of the top 100 inspirational women of India by the National Bar Association of India and published in the book The Phenomenal She. In April 2019, conferred the Exceptional Women of Excellence Award at the Global Women's Economic Forum. In August 2019, awarded Future 50 High Impact Leaders 2019 by Fortune magazine. Welcome, Rajita ji. Welcome to our program.
Thank you. Very nice to be here. Hasan ji, thank you for the invitation.
It is indeed an honor to have somebody as inspirational as you. How are you doing today?
I'm very well. It's a very, very rainy day in Mumbai today. So at the height that I stay, there's a lot of sound of the wind, which you might also hear here, and doing very well. You know, our Shri Shri University new academic year just began. So it's a very busy period and a very, I think, happily busy period.
I think the sound of success of the Shri Shri University, it just tides over all the other sounds in the background. So you're more than welcome. A few questions for you. Do you think women have an important role to play in education?
Yes, definitely women have a very important role to play in education. The goddess of learning is a woman, Saraswati. Yeah. And our mother is our first teacher, isn't it? At home, our mother teaches us the first lessons of life. And actually, education is one sector, Hassanji, where I see there are more women than men. If you look at all the schools, you know, most of the teachers we have had are women. Principals mostly are women. Normally, when we talk about women equality or gender equality in many businesses of the world, I think this is one sector where there is reverse gender equality required. There are far, I think, lesser men than women, especially in the school and primary education. Of course, when you move to higher education, there are significantly higher men. In Shri Shri University, Hasanji, we are very, very, we are very keen to maintain that balance. In fact, about 52 to 53% of our faculty members are women, and almost 49% of our students are girls students. So I think women have a very big role to play in every, walk of life, just as much in education.
I couldn't resonate more with you, especially like the first thing that a child learns is from his mother. So that's it. They play a very important role in education. Thank you so much for your insight. Rajita ji, among several feathers in your cap, a prominent one is being the president of the Shri Shri University. Can you please share with us how this journey with SSU started?
It's a rather long story, but let me keep it short. So, I used to be a banker, Hasanji. I used to work with Citibank, and from 2004 onwards, I had a Asia Pacific role. So I used to head Asia Pacific for a few functions of Citibank for one of our big, for the entire asset side of the balance sheet. So there were 5 businesses in this asset side. So, the mortgage business, the auto loan business, the consumer finance business, the ready credit business. So we had 5-6 big businesses, and we were in 12 countries in Asia Pacific. So about 12 countries, 5 businesses, there were about 18,000 employees, who were in my sort of landscape. And I used to head a few functions, training and development, customer advocacy, a couple of functions. So I was very busy and, traveling all the time. In a busy month, 3 weeks, in an easy month, 2 weeks, all over Asia Pacific. And one such time I was in Korea, in Seoul. And, in those days in Seoul, we used to have the CDMA phones, not the normal GSM that we use now. So you used to have to pick up a CDMA phone with a deposit. And I used to go for 3-4 days, in a week. I used to reach on a Sunday and Monday start my work, because Korea was one of my big countries in my portfolio. So 3-4 days I would be there. I would just leave that phone number, with my husband or maybe 1 or 2 members of the family, because in 3-4 days, who would need it? I would be back home by the following weekend. One such trip in Seoul in 2009, I think it was, that I got a call from Gurudev. And firstly, I was shocked that how did he get this number of mine? Because, that means that effort, somebody from his office made the effort to get my number, etc. And he told me that this Sunday we have a meeting in Bhubaneswar. Why don't you come? So I was still in Seoul that day. It was Wednesday, but anyways, I was going to be back by Friday, and Sunday I indeed went to Bhubaneswar. And that was the first time I had the chance to travel with Gurudev to the site, which was supposed to be Srish University. And Gurudev showed me was showing all of us the site, and it was a barren land. There was not a sprig of grass there. It was extremely hot, and there were big craters, quarries. And he says, the best university in the world will come up here. There will be beautiful trees, birds, flowers, gardens. There will be students from all over India, all over the world. And I couldn't see anything there. It was like it was not even barren. It was worse than barren, that land. And then Gurudev said, you look after it. So I had no idea what look after it meant. It was like, so I think that was the beginning. At that time, the late Shri T.N. Seshan was the president of Srish University. So I started helping him, supporting him, accompanying him for meetings, being part of it. And he was such such an unbelievable, personality. He was, we learned a lot. All of us were with him at that time. And then in 2010, I left my banking career, and then full time I was part of, all the Art of Living projects, and Srish University, of course, was one of them. And it began like this. Then I was on the board, and it continued. And, like Gurudev says, no, you should be able to do every job from a peon to a president. So I can safely say that in Srish University, I have done all and still do. So from, sweeping the floor to putting up tarpaulin sheds to, digging sometimes, to doing meetings with the chief minister or others, we have done it all. And I think the beauty of this journey has been the incredible way in which this, this idea of a university grew into an institution. And I consider myself extremely fortunate for having got this opportunity. The challenges have been humongous. The barriers have been a lot. And, education is a very heavily regulated sector. I often say that if our other sectors of business are as regulated as education, we might have lesser scams. But, it is so regulated, so there is huge amounts of permissions you need to take. And for a startup, Hasanji, for someone who is a startup in this, it is indeed a very tough task. And I feel very grateful that we went through all of that. We learned so much. I personally learned so much. I had to teach myself, Hasanji, everything about education. Like, I had reached, I can say, a great deal of mastery as a banker. I've been a banker for two decades. And then I had to start at the bottom, in a sense, and teach myself. So I used to read all the regulations. I used to minutely scan the UGC website, the AICT website, to teach myself, what are the regulations, what are the rules. And that is how we grew. We started with five courses. I remember the first year we had 43 students, just a little tin shed, and like now I said, it's a rainy day. in Odisha, when it rains very hard. So you cannot hear anything above your roof, and sometimes we used to have waterfalls inside the roof, inside as well as outside. And it was nothing. It was just a small little, maybe we had a 3,000-4,000 square foot ready at that time of academic space, and we have just one hostel ready. And today we have close to 1 million square foot of built up infrastructure, including hostels, academic blocks, fabulous sports facilities. And we have a ISO 22000 certified kitchen. And indeed, Hasanji, what Gurudev said it has to happen, but I'm glad it has happened so soon. We now have about 53 or 54 types of birds which are coming to the campus, because we have close to 100,000 trees now. I still have pictures of myself where I am standing, and there's just barren land for as far as you can see. And the same spot today is totally green. We've got so many green campus awards. In fact, we are the only university in India to get the CII IGBC Green Award for teaching green architecture. So not only are we making our campus green, but the architecture program we teach also green architecture. So I think we've come a long way in a short time, and we have a long way to go as well. So we are all working towards it. And
I think what you've done is truly, truly remarkable. Firstly, given the fact that you were actually a banker, and you had an astounding career as a banker, and then you are put into this field of education. And like you said, the only part of education over there was a barren land. There was no education over there. Yeah. And to build it up from scratch and to bring it this far I can only imagine your grit and determination, because there are a lot of challenges in the path. So I can imagine what great determination and what faith you've had to bring this to this level. I salute you, really. You've done a great, great job. Remarkable.
Thank you, Hasanji, but what you're saying is absolutely right. And before this, you asked me a question about what is the role of women in education. One is the role of women, but the more critical part is what is the role of women leaders in education. I think it is safe to say that I have faced my share of challenges in that department, where because of bias and prejudice, you get discriminated against, or you get judged, by your external stakeholders. Because in education, you have to interact with hundreds of external stakeholders. And, whether it's the regulators, whether it's the government, whether it's, your industry partners, whether it's just parents, others. So I have also gone through a fair bit of that trial by fire. And I think it has only made me more determined and more resolute to continue on this journey. Yeah.
Super. I'm sure, given all the challenges you encountered, and like you said, all the, sometimes pressure and discrimination, a lot of things you encountered, I'm sure the 5 knowledge points and your yoga and your meditation have played a key role in you overcoming all these obstacles. Can you endorse that for me, please?
Absolutely, Hasanji. I think, I attribute even the success of our journey to our, to the spiritual foundation that we have as an institution. So many things I see happening. In fact, today we are joined by some of our alumni students. I am very proud of all our alumni and their achievements. We will hear from them also soon. But let me tell you, when you're building an institution of this scale, like today, Hasanji, everybody is expecting or comparing us to, say, a Harvard or a Cambridge. And I have to tell them that, we are only 7 years old. They are a couple of 100 years old. But I think that is also this scale, this speed is also possible because of the sort of spiritual grounding or the spiritual centeredness or the strength of the spirit that we have. Otherwise, this kind of a journey has the ability, it can break anybody. But it hasn't happened to us. It hasn't happened to me individually. I don't see it happening in our team. No matter what the challenge, the energy is so high. The bigger the challenge, the more the enthusiasm to deal with it. I'll tell you a funny story. In fact, would you like to
Please
hear?
go ahead.
I mean,
Yes,
like,
please, of course.
what kind of challenges we have dealt with. So one day, I was at my home in Mumbai, and our then Vice Chancellor called me, Dr. Mishra, and he said, "Madam, there are cows in our campus." So I said, okay. I said, okay, that's good. So I thought, maybe there are few cows have come from the nearby area. So I didn't get very excited. And he says, "Madam, you don't understand, but there are cows in our campus." So, so I couldn't understand why he was so concerned about it. A couple of cows, they'll come and go. But do you know, Hasan, that day there were about 1,000+ cows which entered our campus from the neighboring villages. They were sort of being taken for grazing, and the boys went away, and all these cows came into the campus, and students were running from here to there. So, well, that is the kind of problems we have also dealt with. And, of course, Gurudev's knowledge, the fact that we have the knowledge of meditation, we practice meditation. All our students learn Sudarshan Kriya. Either they have come, they already know it, but the first week of all our academic year is the induction program where we teach the Art of Living course. And all students every day, the ecosystem of the university encourages them and gives them the chance to practice their spirituality. And I think that is the strength. Hasanji, our students will tell you, they call our campus the happiest campus in the country, because you can feel that happy vibe. So many seniors who come to visit our campus, guests who come, even some of our colleagues, IITs in our neighborhood, National Law Universities in our neighborhood, Ravenshaw Universities in our neighborhood. Many of those seniors always visit us. When I go, we all meet. And they always say, when we come to your campus, we feel so good. We feel so happy. We cannot explain what it is, but we feel so happy. And I think that is because of the spiritual foundation that we have.
I too have heard similar remarks from almost every person whom I've spoken to about the university. I'm sure it is an extraordinary place to be in. If I had to ask you, what is the single, I wouldn't ask the single most, but what are the differentiators between SSU and other universities across the world?
Let me give you take a step back and give you a sort of our approach to it, or Gurudev's vision. So Hasanji, today if you see education around the world, there are many great institutions, many centers of excellence, many universities who are contributing in an unbelievable way to humanity, isn't it? All of us are a result of the education we've had. And they have brought, they have contributed to the evolution of mankind, you can say, because discoveries happen, inventions happen, universities are seats of research and development. Gurudev's vision for Shri Shri University is, as I have understood it and embraced it, and as we are unfolding it, is threefold. Of course, at an umbrella level, Gurudev always says that in Shri Shri University, we will have the best of the East and West. So the best education that the West of the world has to offer, so cutting edge technology or medical knowledge or what have you, and the best knowledge and wisdom that the East of the world has to offer. So that is Gurudev's big vision, that it is a seamless and a beautiful confluence of the East and the West of the world. And I think at a practical level, that translates into the fact that Gurudev is keen that we bring to the university, we launch in the university, unique programs. So for example, we are the first university in India, Hasanji, to launch an undergraduate program in agribusiness. When we were doing our research about the programs to launch, every year we launch 5-6 programs. I was really shocked that there is no undergrad program for agribusiness. So coming from Gurudev's vision of strengthening, the grassroots level Indian, which is farmers. Today, 70% of India is farmers. So we launched an undergrad program in agribusiness, where in fact some of our classes also happen in regional languages, because we don't expect that, or we don't need the farmers to know English. Then Gurudev was keen to bring the knowledge of osteopathy to India. And do you know that we are the first university in all of Asia to have a school of osteopathy? In fact, when I started going for the permissions, Hasanji, for the osteopathy program, nobody knew who will give the permission because there's no precedent. So, we had to do that. We had to help the regulators understand how they can give us the requisite permissions. And then we had to create the demand for this field of medicine. And today now it is one of our most overfilling courses. Our graduates who are osteopathy graduates are rocking it in the sense of that they are so much in demand. So that now this year, Hasanji, in fact, on 17th of August, we are going to launch the first in the world. No other university in the world has it. I have researched it, so I can say it very emphatically. First in the world, Faculty of Contemplative and Behavioral Sciences. So marrying the Western knowledge of psychology with the Eastern knowledge of contemplation and meditation. So we will be the first university in the world. So what makes us different is this hunger we have, is this desire we have to bring new knowledge, to bring cutting edge knowledge to India, which either doesn't exist other parts of India or other parts of Asia or even other parts of the world. So when a student chooses a university, of course you choose a university which gives you the best academic orientation for the subject of your choice. That is for sure. But also you choose an institution which has the hunger to do more, the hunger to do different, the hunger to do better, the hunger to do faster. And I think that is what we are. See, otherwise in a short span of 6-7 years, we have grown from one course to now this year we have close to 48 courses. All students, undergrad, postgrad, all our other MDP, online, certificate, if you see all our course students, we are close to 4,000 plus students. We started with 40 students. So that is, I think, what differentiates us. Also the fact that I think today, I'm also a leadership coach. I'm also the CEO, I'm on the global board of our leadership initiative, TLEX, globally. And what I see when I work with institutions, with corporates, with governments, with even organizations like the World Bank and the United Nations, is that today the need in the world is for students who have the ability to be agile, to be aware, and to be adaptable, to be resilient, to be able to deal with themselves, to be able to deal with pressure, to be able to handle pressure, to be able to be dynamic in any situation. And I think we are providing students those tools. When students learn meditation, they learn the breathing techniques, they practice it every day. On the campus, we take great care to give nutritious, researched food Ayurvedically. Sometimes it's not so appreciated because it's too healthy and may not be a little tasty, but it is good for their health. And we are focusing on this. So our students graduate not only with the academic knowledge, but with these techniques and tools to help them take care of their mental well-being, to help them become resilient. And Hasanji, see, look at the world today. Because of the pandemic, mental health has become the biggest challenge in the world. There are like lakhs of more cases of depression, of suicide, and that is a big challenge even in this age group now, in the age group which is coming into universities, which is graduating. And I think that is one thing which makes us absolutely unique. I don't think there is any other university in the world which in a physical campus sense is completely, drug, smoke, alcohol free. It is a vegetarian campus. It's a meditating campus. You will find some components here and there in parts, but all together. And Hasanji, lastly, Gurudev gave us 3 values to build the university with. Learn, lead, and serve. Learn from every source possible without bias, so that you can lead, become a leader in your field, so that you can serve back. Not become a big shot and just stay happy there, but serve back the community. And Hasanji, what I have seen, and you can ask this to our alumni also, being part of Seva work on the campus, whether it's doing things for the campus, building the campus, growing the campus, doing agriculture, gardening, helping the kids of the housekeepers, that sensitivity which it builds to all sections of society. Today, I think it's a very, very defining skill required in the industry. See, because when you become a part of the industry, you need to be taking care of all your stakeholders. Today, your community is your stakeholder, the climate is your stakeholder, your shareholders, your suppliers, your vendors, the whole value chain you have to take care in mind. You have to keep it in mind. So when you do seva, I feel it breaks you very, very sensitive to needs of all stakeholders. So I think I gave you a slightly long answer, but to summarize it, I think what makes us really what differentiates us is Gurudev's unique vision, number one. Number two, our thirst and our hunger for doing more, doing better, doing faster, and which also therefore means that students get more and more, innovation to, when you see growth around you, you know how you can grow along with it. All the tools of resilience, mental well-being, happiness, stress reduction that we teach and we encourage students to incorporate and integrate in their life, the ability to become sensitive to stakeholders, and of course, I mean, what goes without saying is the complete focus on academic excellence. Because of the Art of Living Network, Hasanji, the entire world is our oyster. So people from all parts of the world, they visit our campus, they are addressing students. So many of our students have gone abroad to do internships, have gone out for jobs as their wish. So and requirements. So I think, yeah, these are few of the things that I can immediately think of.
I mean, Rajita ji, I want to share my feelings, what's happening inside of me when I'm hearing you right at this point of time. Firstly, I am so inspired by the vision of Shri Ravi Shankar ji, by your hard work, by your involvement, and the amount of accolades you've got to the university, the new courses. So that inspiration is like, oh, it's gone through the roof. It's like it's mind-boggling. Obviously, the feeling that I have within me is like, though I'm feeling very happy, I'm also somewhere I'm feeling sad, like, oh my God, these opportunities were not available to us during our times, during our days. So yeah, I'm feeling happy and slightly sad at the same time. I wanted to ask you, is there any scope?
To feel, Hasanji, you don't have to feel sad. Even now, you can enroll for a PhD.
I was just going to ask that. Is there any scope for people in their late 30s, 40s and 50s who can still enroll in these programs?
You can enroll for a PhD. We are doing so many certificate programs. We are doing so many management development programs. You can be part of any of those.
Wow, thank you so much.
To invite you to even address and spend some time with the students.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So much global experience in teaching mind management, in teaching resilience techniques, meditation, and especially in the Middle East, where I'm sure the cultural barriers might have made it very tough for you, and you have successfully done it there. So we definitely want you to come and share your experiences with our students. I think it will be very valuable for them.
Thank you so much. I'm going to take up this invitation and I'm going to visit surely and soon after the lockdown. So to all the viewers out there, just look at firstly the people who are all the youth, the teenagers, all those who are studying. Look at the things that this university brings to the table. And secondly, people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, we still have an opportunity. We still have a chance out there. So this is something widely available to us in this COVID times and this pandemic, where every educational institute, school, university, colleges, they're all finding it very challenging, very difficult to even teach, to carry on with their programs. I'm really curious to know, how is SSU managing during these times? How are you reaching out? How is the education going on? How is the learning process happening there? What all are you doing? Please share your tips with us.
You are, I mean, this is a very important question, because indeed this is a big challenge today in not only in India, in the whole world. I must tell you what happened. I think it was, so on the 22nd of March was our Janta curfew, right? So about 10 days, I think it was 12th of March that, or 11th of March, that I did my morning sadhana practice. And I had this feeling in me, Hasanji, that what if, this is happening. At that time, it was nowhere so much in India. we were only hearing about how it was in China or in Italy. No, there was hardly like one or two cases
right.
in Kerala. So I got this feeling that what if this kind of increases in India? What if we all also have to shut down like this? Like it's happening in Italy and other places. So I remember I called our vice chancellor. I said, "Sir, what do you think? I think we should make a plan for it." So he says, "नहीं मैम, अभी इधर इतना कुछ नहीं है, ऐसे कुछ नहीं होगा." So I told him, I said, "Sir, because I'm really getting a very strong intuition. For my sake, can we call a meeting today? Let's be prepared. If we don't need to use the plan, no harm." So this was about 10:30. Immediately there was a meeting called. We went on till the meeting, say about 1:30. We did our noon meditation. We broke for lunch. And at 3 o'clock, Hasanji, in the afternoon, the government of Odisha called for a shutdown of all educational institutions and universities in Odisha. This was 10 days before the national lockdown. So it was a Friday, I remember, and I stand corrected for the date, but it was a Friday, and there was like a shock, more not for the fact that there was a shutdown call, but that we were prepared. And within 2 days, we were able to send 98% of the students back home safely, because that was the directive we got. We had about 25-30 children who could not leave because of various reasons, and they then continue to stay on campus. We shut the campus, and in 4 days, we did like 24 hours, you can say 48-hour training, if that can be possible. And in 4 days, we went 100% virtual. It was a lot of challenges those first few days. Everybody had to learn a new way to teach, a new way to learn. Faculty members had to prepare PPTs out of the blue. And, bandwidth was a challenge. Connectivity was a challenge for some people. Some people didn't have a place to use in the house. But we went 100% online. And we finished the curriculum. It was also a time, say for example, our faculty of agriculture were in the final exams, vivas. Some other faculty was in some other stage of the curriculum. So we completed the curriculum. By the second week of May, we finished all exams online. We had to teach all our faculty, there's a Bloom's taxonomy, like a different way of conducting exams and drafting exam papers. So we did massive training on that. Exams were done. Students took the exams. The results were declared. First week of July, on the 1st of July, we started with the new academic year for our current students. And now on 29th of July, we started it for all our new students. And in the period of the lockdown, Hasanji, we were, I think, busier than ever before. We've had close to 300 national and international conclaves in this much time, webinars, online MDPs, online faculty development programs. Almost 250,000, 300,000 people participated in our programs. We did many free programs, Hasanji, skill building programs for homemakers, for young students, for all age groups, all subjects. And it's been an extremely energizing time for us. It's been an extremely busy time for us. I have been losing my voice every few days and then bringing it back. The whole team has worked so hard because, Hasanji, there is one thing, that the joy of teaching in person, we all know it, we are all teachers, we experience it. But to teach technical subjects online is a huge challenge, not only for the students, but for the faculty. Hasanji, we have many young faculty members who have become recently, who have little toddler children. Now, see, for these toddlers, if mummy goes to work, they know mummy is not available. But if mummy is at home, it doesn't work for them. No, they don't stay away. So I've had, young staff members teaching with their babies in their laps. So people have gone all out and out of their way to make sure that not a single day of learning was lost for our students. And in the context of the fact that, in India, we have 900 plus universities, and we can safely say that, at least 700 plus universities have not been able to move ahead, if in an online mode. It means a lot of loss of time for students. It's a difficult time for them. So I feel very proud of our team. Full salute to them for not just standing up to the occasion, I think rising up to the occasion. And I think what has really helped that, Gurudev has been conducting meditation twice a day. So all of us have been participating in it as a team. And even if we have meetings, we pause the meeting, we meditate, and then we continue the meeting.
Wow.
So I think it has been a very, very busy time for us. And I feel good that we could come together as a team to ensure that our students didn't lose time. Also in terms of placements, Hasanji, it's a tough time, There is a recent research I read that the graduation 2020 batch is the worst graduating batch in the history of humanity. So for no fault of theirs, they are not getting jobs. For no fault of theirs, they're getting furloughed. For no fault of theirs, they're getting pay cuts. For no fault of theirs. It's just the economic situation. And despite that, I think we have close to 87 to 90% placement. And those who are left, I think we are committed to supporting them and helping them find jobs as soon as possible. So yeah, it's been a busy time.
How beautiful, how beautiful. Like whatever you shared about the way you've dealt with the COVID times, the key words that really stood out for me, one was teamwork, the second was meditation, and a little bit of preparation. I think this just goes on to say like this requires high degree of sattva, it requires high degree of dedication, and it requires the entire team to be focused at one thing. I mean, it is great what you've pulled up over here, given the fact that 87% of all universities are struggling with this. To pull off something like this, it's been really, really massive.
Here I want to unpack it for you a little bit, Hasanji, from a leadership point of view. Is that okay?
Yes, please.
In leadership or in corporate strategic management, we always talk about being ahead of the market, right? We always talk about being proactive. We always talk about having the first mover's advantage. Now, how do you develop that mindset? From where do you get it? Nobody teaches you that. People teach you that you have to be a innovator. People teach you that you have to be a disruptor. People teach you that you have to be a leader. They tell you that it is good to be all this and the result of being this. But nobody teaches you how to be an innovator, how to be a disruptor, how to have that, sense of let me do this ahead of time, right? When you want to lead means you should be ahead of your time. Only then there are some behind you. And I have found, Hasanji, really a big contribution of meditation here. I can say it with my personal example. I have been meditating now also for 2.5 decades, and I have seen how my intuitive skills have got nourished, how my gut has become stronger, and how, that flash of a moment idea that can be a game changer is a reality of life. For us, I mean, from nowhere that day, if you ask me, how did you think that morning that let us plan for shutdown? There is no answer for that. It comes from that deep intuitive space, which I think is the bedrock of all innovation. People today say you need a framework of innovation to do innovation. Look at how all our ancient people, Aryabhatta, Shushruta, they didn't have any innovation framework, but they gave the world big innovations. They made big discoveries. So I can definitely attribute a lot of that to my practice of meditation. And there is a leadership agility theory, Hasanji, which says that there are levels of agility and also levels of leadership excellence. So the highest level is the level of a strategist. And there is research which shows that 90% of the strategist leaders all are meditators. I mean, they may choose their own form of meditation, but they are all meditators. So this is something I speak also about a lot, because in the world of leadership today, there is a lot being written about what to do, but there is not so much about how to get there. And I think this kind of unbundles and unpacks the how of.
Wow, brilliant. Rajita ji, there is so many facets to your personality. There are so many facets to your brilliance. I think one episode is not going to do you enough justice. I am going to have to call you in again. I'm going to Wow, there's so much to discuss with you. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. I also believe you've got some alumni to.
Yes, yes,
Oh, that's wonderful. Can we please introduce them? Can we please speak to the
yes.
alumni as well?
So let
Wow.
me start. Okay, because we are equal gender belief. So I will start with Anmol. So Anmol Narang is with us. Hi, Anmol. Anmol is one of our alumni. He did the MBA. Actually, all the alumni who is with us today are all our MBA students. So he passed out of our MBA program, and he's a senior consultant now with Ernst and Young, and based out of Delhi, travels around the world. Until Corona, was traveling around the world for his consulting assignments. And he also, incidentally, is a teacher of the Art of Living Happiness program. So we are a unique university where Art of Living teachers are teachers, Art of Living teachers are students, and Art of Living teachers are recruiters. So all of them. So hi Anmol, how are you?
Hello, ma'am. I'm doing really very well.
Very nice. So Hasan, you want to?
Hi Anmol, welcome. Wonderful to see you over here. Thank you for
Namas-
joining us. Thank you so much. Wonderful to see you over here.
Thank you, Hasan ji. Thank you so much.
Anmol, we've just heard a lot about the university that you've passed out from, and we've had this little bit of sharing from the president of the university. I can say both of them are so dynamic. I can only guess what you are, being a product of that university. If I had to ask you a question, what is your biggest takeaway from as a student of SSU? What is your biggest takeaway as a student of the university?
For me, the biggest takeaway has been, so I always believe that education is always about strengthening the roots. You know, it's one thing learning the technical stuff, learning about the financial subjects, financial accounting, the operations, the supply chain, but also very much important is how to deal with the chaos. Because the world we are, the chaos is everywhere. And being in consulting, you know, every 3 months, I'm dealing with new clients, new people, new assignments. You know, there's a new team in place. And every time you have to learn, you have to unlearn, you have to implement these things into a practical scenario. So I think SSU made me ready for that. Like Rajita ma'am was saying very rightly, you know, it teaches you how to strengthen your roots, because, you know, when we're living in a campus where there's no drugs, no alcohol, you know, the core of the university is about meditation, and then we are imparted knowledge into that scenario. So the information gets converted into knowledge. So I think that has been a beautiful journey for me. You know, in fact, I still remember the subjects which I've learned over there. And I truly believe that those 2 years have been really, you know, one of the best 2 years for me personally, in terms of growth from a personal point of view, from a spiritual point of view, and from a technical point of view also.
Wow, wonderful. Wonderful to hear that, Anmol. That's really brilliant. Very good, very nice. And do we have some more of your colleagues and alumni with us?
Yes, yes. So there is also with us Shweta Sharma. So Shweta is a budding entrepreneur. She is also a graduate from our MBA program. And I'm very proud that Shweta and her partner Hasanji launched in India, India's first Moringa tea. And they have grown their business and doing very well. So, you know, in fact, Shish University is known as a university for startups, because in the last 3-4 years, we've had more than 35 startups incubated in our campus by our students. And we are also the nodal agency for Startup Odisha, for the government of Odisha. And we have an incubation center, innovation cell. And Shweta is one of our proud jewels of that initiative.
Really like to meet her. Thank you so much for coming in over here. Wow. I can just imagine the good times that you've had in the university as a student, as a learner. Can you tell us what is your fondest memory of SSU?
You can only imagine, and I should tell you, it was a superb experience to be there at Srish University and experience the learnings, the joy, the challenges firsthand. So my fondest memory, and in fact it is very close to my heart, I remember going to Rajita ma'am one day. I had another batchmate with me, and we started sharing our problems with her. So we started with our long stories, and she said just one thing to us. She said, Shweta, bring me solutions, not problems. And that has become a fond memory because it still helps me to date, because I face humongous challenges every day in my business, and overcoming each one of them by focusing on the solutions is something which I've learned from her. And this is really impacting my life in the most beautiful way.
Wow. And Shweta, like, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, that was, I saw your greatest learning has been also your fondest memory. Shweta, I'm going to ask you something on a lighter note. Like, you don't have to answer me only because your president is here. I know we all love her, we all respect her. I'm a huge fan of hers. I want to know, did you all also have any masti in the campus? Tell me about the masti life.
Yes. So, in Sri University, the masti used to be the festivals. So, we had students coming from all across the country. Every state, approximately in my batch, I would say there were at least 10 students from each state. So we would celebrate all the festivals very nicely, be it Diwali, be it Eid, Pongal, all the festivals we used to celebrate with great zeal and enthusiasm. And this was something that I really cherish.
Wow. Okay. So you'll had a good time also over there with all the festivals and all. Okay, that's
Yes,
really
yes,
awesome.
yes.
That's
That
really
was the main musty time.
that's wonderful to hear. It's good. I also believe we've got another alumni over here.
Yes, Sanji. So we invited Isha Rathi. Isha is just this year graduated from MBA, and she has been with us for 5 years because she did her undergraduation and her post-graduation. So 3 years of undergrad, 2 years of postgrad. So she went through the whole, journey. She came to us a young school graduate, and now she has this year left the campus as a master's holder. So that's Isha for you from Hyderabad.
Hello, Isha.
Hi, sir.
Hi, how are you, Isha?
I'm
Thank you
doing
for
good.
joining. Thank you for joining us today. One thing that I can obviously notice in all of you is the vibrant smiles that all of you carry with you. I think this is like a signature of all the SSC students. Wonderful. Isha, obviously you've had a great time in the university. You've done a lot over there. Tell me, how are your friends like, and are you still in touch with them?
Yes, actually, over the time, we have actually become a family. As soon as I entered SSU, the bond between seniors and juniors in other colleges is very different. But at SSU, they are just like our elder brothers and sisters. So that is one of the most unique things that SSU has given me. It was actually, in a true sense, home away from home. So yeah, and of course I'm in touch with all the seniors, my friends. They were from very different backgrounds, but then somehow everything worked out, and now we are a small little family.
So brilliant. So apparently SSU has given almost everything. It gives you the learning, gives you the education, gives you the skills, it gives you a family, it allows you to enjoy that space of learning, it gives you great health, allows you to enjoy great campus. I mean, it's just a beautiful package. Isha, I can't help
Hassan,
telling you.
I want to tell you because you mentioned health. So many students, because it's a big campus, and we are not so much encouraging use of bikes or cars. Still, some students still have it, but everybody has to walk. So, I get so many letters from parents, kids lose weight. We have one of our students, she came to us, she was rather, on the obese side. She lost 25 kilos in 5 years. And today she looks, she's so much healthier because also the food is cooked in a very, very, hygienic and with a big focus on quality, given our ISO 22000 standards. So it really helps improve the health also. And I have seen that physical health improvement, mental health, so for sure, definitely. But physical health also in a big way has an impact in the positive.
Wow. Really, SSU seems to be a very fun-loving place to be in. It feels like the right place to be in, to be honest. It's the right place to be in, whether people who are studying, people who are educating, people who are learning. It just seems to be the perfect place. I wish I'm going to enroll for one of your programs definitely soon. I really, firstly, I would want to thank the genius behind the university, Shri Ravi Shankarji, for his wisdom, for his knowledge, for his vision, and really a big thank you to you, Rajita ji, for all that you've done. Thank you for sharing your time with us, and a big thank you to all the alumni. It was wonderful meeting Anmol, Shweta, and Isha. Big thank you to all of you for sharing your insight, for sharing your time, for letting us know all the wonderful things that happened over there, and for making us feel that we missed out on a little bit, but we are going to catch up in all of that. So thank you for being over here with us.
We want to say that we would like everybody to follow us on our Twitter handle @ShriShriU, also on Instagram, and like our Facebook page and like our LinkedIn handle everywhere as either @ShriShriU or as Shri Shri University. So you can be in touch and you can know all the developments, achievements, initiatives, plans, and we wait for you to visit us virtually or physically, both ways.
Great. Once again, big thank you for sharing this something that, during this COVID times, it's refreshing to hear something like this, that something so beautiful is going on. Generally, all over people are speaking about problems and challenges, but it's nice to hear that there is this beautiful university, that programs are going on, people are enjoying it. It's really refreshing to hear this kind of things. Of course, my best wishes, and I'm really hoping that all the viewers, all the people become aware of this wonderful work going on over there. We can also be part of this. So big thank you to all of you guys. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you for inviting us, and thank you for this great conversation. It's a real pleasure. It's been a real pleasure.
So you see, women are truly the harbingers of knowledge. If we want to get society back on track on human values, a woman's role in education has to be respected and acknowledged. I hope all our viewers enjoyed today's episode of Karnika, that is Women in Education. I hope to see you all soon with another episode. And in case you have any questions, you can send it to us also at htafti.aol@gmail.com. So once again, big thank you to all of you, to the tech team, to all our guests over here. Thank you, and let's keep meeting again.
Thank you.
Thank you.